Hello and welcome. Good evening. It's Thursday evening in the United Kingdom, and thank you for wherever you are joining us around the world. My name is Teo. I'm the executive producer of Time of the Sixth Sun. In the window below, we've got Nikki Luna Williams, who is the creator, the producer, the director of this amazing project. And our guest this evening is Kurikindi. Kurikindi, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have you with us. Thank you. Thank you. So we've if you read the description of what we were what we're going to be talking about tonight, a major part of it will be about the fact that the village where Kurikindi's mother lives in Ecuador, there was an oil spill in April of this year, and it's having some very major impacts on the communities, not just in Kurikindi's mother's village, but also all of the villages that are connected to that particular piece of water. So we're going to discuss that this evening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just bring up this this slide, because what we'd love you to be able to do is, if you'd like to find out more about Kurikindi, you can go to the kurikindifoundation.org, and I'll post all these links in the comments. And we created a little short URL that's easy for people to remember, which is tinyurl.com/Kurikindi. And what we also, Luna and I, talked about before we went on air, to say that we would love to help with this cause. Now, we would love to be able to give more, but in absolute honesty, Luna and I are not even breaking even each month with the broadcast and things that we're doing. So we'd like to give 50% of anybody that would purchase a digital package to the Kurikindi appeal, so that anybody who purchases from now through till 8 p.m. UK BST on Monday the 15th, when we go live with our next speaker, and I'll put the link in, but we'll talk more about that at the end. So Luna, I'm going to pass over to you.
Thank you. So Kurikindi, we met, I think, about 5 years ago at a festival. Yeah. And we talked a lot about your background and your story. And so a bit of background information. You're from the Kichwa tribe of the Amazon forest in Ecuador. And you've always been a protector of the rainforest, the beautiful rainforest around you, your ancestral lands. And you were explaining that it's because it's a place that you connect with. It's where you live. It's where Mother Nature is, the plants, the medicine, the food, and your ancestor spirits. So when I first interviewed you, I remember you telling me a story about men who came to your village and were offering you money and many other things because they wanted to come and do mining in your village, in your mother's village. And you didn't like the feeling of it. And when they did come, they cut all your trees down. And you said it was like they came and they cut your blood. They cut your spirit, your connection. So can you, for those people who don't know, there was an accident back in April, and a pipeline was burst, and there is now a terrible, terrible emergency because of an oil spill in the two rivers, the Coca and the Napa River, which is where you get all your drinking water from. It's where you fish. It's where you wash. It's the lifeblood of the villagers who live down the river. So can you tell me, Kurikindi, how has that affected your family, the children of your tribe? I know the children now are getting sores and wounds on their bodies from the toxic oil.
Yeah, I would like to talk first, like how indigenous communities or how indigenous life is started, long time ago, when the conquistadors arrived there to do many things. We always said, like the society go to the rainforest to see good tree. We indigenous, we were like a good tree. I was very, very curious. They take the fruit. They take, okay, wasn't comfortable with that. They take the branch, cut the branch. Wasn't comfortable. They cut the tree. So we grew up from that tree again. So we said, can do many things, but they can't take our root. So when we're talking about the oil split, it's not the first time. It's happened many times, and it's not only affecting my mother community. They're affecting more than 50 communities. So, and this is it's very sad, you know. Sometimes when you're talking about what has happened, if I can remember my history about saying no, the oil company in our land. It's very sad. It's not easy to be protector of the Mother Earth. It's not easy to be a guardian of the rainforest. So we have to bond with that quality. I would like to say we have to learn that things. We learn without reading any books. We learn that how is our connection with nature, how we can connect, and that is that love, you know, that feeling. That teaches us to be a warrior. That teaches us to be protector. That teaches us to be a guardian. So, but recently in April, when that's happening, you know, generally indigenous, we go to the river to have a shower, to wash our clothes, and suddenly we, you know, because that's happening, that the oil pass at night time, and it still was passing at daytime too. But when we don't know clearly, so already was contaminated when the children go to the river and they was with that oil. So now are many children suffering. So and still, but sometimes we collect water from the rain, but it's not like to have a, you know, to have always. So we use the water from the river. So it's very difficult now for many communities. It's not only my mother communities, for many indigenous people, children. That is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure for people watching, anyone who has young children, we can't imagine what that must be like to watch your children, the skin, you know, the infections and everything. So we've got on the screen a picture of one of the young children and what it's doing, the wounds and the oil in the water. Thanks, Ter. Yeah, it's really...
Yes, so yes, for example, is, you know, we like at the old, I think all the planet, or many people in the planet, we know about the coronavirus. So we have that problem adding another problem, what is the oil split. So it's like, you know, if we can live in that moment, if we can be in that moment there, it's very different. It's still, that is how it's crossing the fear, you know, in the mind about the coronavirus. And after that's coming the oil split, and it's affecting us strongly. So we said, why why happened that? So, you know, it's why we indigenous people to still continue with this problem, and it's happened many times.
Yeah.
Why can't people who are doing with the oil, why can't fix that problem? Because it's always happened.
So are they fixing it? Is there any show of help from the oil company to clean it?
But yes, this has happened. I listen about news like they happen again after that, before they fix totally, but now it's fixed. But the problem is no, they fix it's okay. It's no problem. But already the problem is the oil, you know, is split in the river, and it still is there.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And how else are people getting sick, Kurikindi?
Can you repeat me again, please?
How else are people getting sick? What sicknesses are they having?
So, but especially the skin, this is affecting strongly. That, like, you know, it's like it's growing the infection in the skin, in the body, and that is the big problem. And it's very painful for children, especially.
Yeah, that's really. And is there medical help? Because I read that the medical facilities, because of coronavirus, they're not helping people because they're only taking COVID-19 patients.
Yeah, for example, if we talk about the coronavirus, you know, so there is many commentaries about like you know, the coronavirus moving everywhere. You still is sometimes in deep in the rainforest, like Brazil, Peru, and many different countries. So yeah, the local governments are helping, like for example, with some medicine, I think, with some with bottle of water. So that is this. We need, we need water for drink, and it's not only one bottle. It's like for every family is going to do maybe 2 bottles. It's not helping.
No. So tell us what you need, what the villagers, the indigenous villagers along the banks of the river need.
So, but generally, for example, we said but still, for example, oil company, they cut down the trees and take the oil from our land, and still the education is still the basics service, I can say, like a water, that thing we don't have. It's like they take what they want, and after that they abandon. It's still contaminating the land. It's still now with the oil spill is adding more contamination, and there's not only one community, it's many communities. So I think I was talking with the president of my mother village, like saying how people can help. So and they said about like how community can help, can have I don't know how can I say water, clean
water filters.
Yeah, but it's still sometimes I don't know how we have to think about that, how communities can have real clean water.
Yeah.
Because if you use filters, sometimes it doesn't work, because sometimes filters coming in this way. The poor water is filtered, and it's like it's not long term helping. It's like for short time, and we can wash our clothes without water.
Yeah.
Do all the supplies to the villages come in on the river? There's no road system where your villages are, is there?
Yeah, it's the unique way is the river. Yes, it's the road. It's our road in the river.
Yeah, and how far is it from your mother's village to the nearest place where they can get supplies?
Yeah, it's more or less 4 hours by motorboat.
Right.
And can the boat go on the river with the oil?
But when this happens, yes, it can go easily. It's no problem. But the problem is for people when we have to take the water, we have to have a shower, we have to clean something in the water. So that is the problem, and that's how children, especially because they are genuine, they don't know what has happened, and they go easily, and that is how have the problem. But of course now we are doing carefully, like children can go be contaminated with that. But it's like it's cutting our freedom. So in our mind, in the indigenous mind, saying, "Oh, coronavirus," and now still you can go to the river because it's contaminated.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
So I wonder how people can help. That's what I want to do in this program, and anyone who's viewing here, if you've got suggestions. I was thinking like iodine or vitamin C, obviously, as well as water. You need a long-term picture. So if anyone has suggestions, please pipe up, and Teo will read those out. And what about food? Because obviously the fish are in the rivers. That's your food source, or partly your food source.
Yeah, but generally, for example, community, we are protecting the rainforest. We know we have what we need. Yeah. But it's more or less the place where we can have easily food is the river, because it's fishing. But still that is difficult, because a few years ago, how a community decided don't go to hunt, don't cut the trees. So doing carefully, and now, how you said this, the food's a little bit difficult because there's another way to have the food.
Yeah. Wow, it's just such a big problem. And so, United Nations, or have you got the tribes of the Amazon got together? Is there a body or an organization who is protecting you, or who stands for your rights?
Yeah, communities are in front. Still talking with the Amazon frontline. We're talking with the government too, say why this happened. Sometimes they still go through the government to go help. I don't know how can arrive that help, but it still sometimes it doesn't arrive to indigenous communities. Only it's a history. So that is happening with the organization. They say, oh, they are collecting money to help indigenous people in that problem. But generally, to talk with honesty, sometimes we don't know about that.
Yeah. So you have a fund that you've started, and it's great. You've already raised a decent amount of money, but there's a lot more needed because it's such a huge problem for you.
Yeah. So yes, I'm like I'm organizing that with the president of the community. So we say how they need, what they need. So yeah, we're going in that in good. We organize in good way. Yeah.
Good. And are you looking for people to donate anything at all, or just money?
So I think could be fine like it's just money, because if someone have to give something, how can put there? So still is still is have to travel to.
Sure.
But if it's there, could be fine. But if from abroad, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah. I was trying to make that point, that the money is the most important thing. So now a lot of people in the tribes, in I don't know just your tribe, I think many of the tribes along the river already have things like diabetes, dengue fever, malnutrition, and we know malnutrition, it lowers the immune system. So I guess they're already vulnerable to something like COVID-19, coronavirus.
Yes. Yeah. The point, I said like the rainforest for us is our home.
Yeah.
Our garden and our pharmacy. But sometimes when indigenous people, we have to confront with with chemical things like the oil split, it's something chemical. It's still if we use our medicine, it's still sometimes I was saying to people like a chemical have to help. So still we are treating with our medicine, but yeah, sometimes we need some medicine from outside.
Yeah.
That is like an experience how we are treating and how it's affecting people, the oil, or sometimes when the oil company go to take it or to drill for oil, so still is affecting the land.
Kurikindi, are they still there? Are they still mining near your villages?
Yes.
Wow.
A lot of people are asking the name of the company. Do you know the name of the company that caused this oil spill?
So, for example, before we had an oil company from abroad, but a few years ago, the government said, okay, have to pass to the hand of the government, if I was right to say.
Yeah.
So, and now it's the government who is the owner of the oil company. So, and this is still more difficult because it's like a pushing and many different ways. So it's still difficult.
Yes, they call Petro Amazonas.
Yes, Petro Amazonas.
You see, in this country, we'd say, okay, let's all get together and not buy petrol from these companies, but we don't have that company. It's a state-run, it's from your country, from Ecuador. So anything we do doesn't make a difference here. Really, the only way I think we can help is to put money where it's going to go directly where it's needed. Yeah. And what else? I think your people from your villages were begging and saying, please, to the mining companies, the hydroelectric companies, logging companies, please do not keep bringing your men in. I think they're rotating the teams. So there's always new people coming from the cities, and the people in the Amazon don't want that. because it's spreading disease or potentially.
Yeah, that is how it's, more or less it's happening. We listen like sometimes people who from the oil companies still is working in the rainforest. So that is how it's contaminating with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what's the attitude of your family in your village? Do they have suggestions of how they can see some solutions?
Luna, we're getting some feedback from your microphone. Will you just turn your laptop down a little bit, just in case it's that?
It's not very high. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have any solutions?
So it is when we talk about solution, like indigenous people, we are against in the oil company. We are against, still like say how we are going to be standing. The solution for indigenous people is have a standing, have to be like a guardian, have to be like a that protector, because it's easy, So the point is how we have to protect our new generation, how we have to protect our land. It's not easy. It's still we are against it for many years, and still we don't have solution about that. It's like sometimes the oil companies like a monster to against us, but only we have to be like a very center and focused to say, okay, no, we are going to be standing, we are going to protect. So indigenous people, we accept how is arriving the civilization, or I don't know if it's right to say civilization, how is arriving the modern world in the corner of the rainforest. Still we have to confront and say, okay, we are going to cross this line, but how we are with our cosmovision, with our philosophy, how we are indigenous. Because when the modern world is arriving, because people, they don't know, they are not prepared to receive that how is arriving in the modern world. Young people are losing. Sometimes they are losing their language. Sometimes they want to see, okay, maybe I'm going to work in the town, and they are not prepared to work in the town. So it's very difficult. But in my way, I'm educating children how we have to confront to receive the modern world.
I was sitting thinking, today I was sitting thinking, how do you stop those massive corporations? They're like a crazy man, a psychopath. I don't know. I don't have an answer of how you stop those big companies, except I suppose by appealing to your government. If enough people wrote to them. I don't know. What do you think, Teo?
I think unfortunately it's down to money. It's down to the fact that the governments will be getting so much money from these companies by allowing them to do this, that they're treating all of these things that happen. Well, firstly, they'll say these things don't happen, and we all know that they do. Same with the pipelines across Northern America and pipelines anywhere. They say, oh, they won't leak, and then they do. Same with fracking. It's not going to cause any damage, and then people's water's setting on fire. It's all these things. Unfortunately, it just goes down to this deep-rooted corruption that is the monetary system.
It's the root. One has to look at the root. You were right when you said that, Kurikindi. I guess I was thinking today also that, maybe what can one do to make your part of the Amazon really not appealing to them? But I don't know what the answer is. Give them a reason not to want to come.
So the point is like, we always have to be standing, always we said always they cut us, but always they can't take our road. So that is our road. That is our road, how we have to protect.
Yeah.
How we have to against, how we said, how we have to be always where we said like, if we are alive, still we are going to continue fighting for protect the rainforest, protect the Mother Earth.
How can we help, do you think, to raise global awareness? How can we help? Just the small group who's going to be watching this over the coming days and weeks.
So I think nowadays, indigenous people from many different places of the planet, we are traveling, we are talking, we are giving the message.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are doing what we can do.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk about, and there's very, very old history about the golden hummingbird. The golden hummingbird, was in the rainforest, and many animals, all the animal kingdom was very happy there. And after that came the fire in the forest. So every animal was running to say, okay, I have to save my life. So, but the golden hummingbird stopped flying, go to the river, to the sea, and try one drop of water and put in the fire. And everyone said, oh, you're crazy. You never is going to stop the fire. And the golden hummingbird said, but I'm doing what I can do. If all of us, we do that, for sure we are going to stop the fire.
I love that story. That's beautiful.
Yeah. The power of efforts. We've got some questions coming in. Dini says, what legal justice organizations are active in the region of Ecuador that could be supported, like Earth Justice? Do you know that, Kurikindi, or is that something we can look up later?
Yeah, there are many organizations there, but it's still sometimes to arrive at that things to arrange, it still is difficult.
Takes time.
Yeah, it takes time too.
Yeah. And a lot of people are. There's just lots of people coming in saying, can you take legal action against the government? Can you find a good lawyer that will help? And also this is Monique saying, you need a good lawyer, and we all need to campaign to make ecocide an international crime.
Yes.
That's what lovely Polly Higgins and now Jojo Mehta are doing from ecocide.
Do you know what that is, Kurikindi?
Yes.
Yeah. It's really needed now. I remember when I interviewed Polly 5 years ago, she said in 5 years' time, ecocide will be made law. I really hope that's true. Time is now.
We are praying for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet. We understand even here, in our tiny little sleepy English village or county, how hard, once they get their roots into your land, how hard it is to get them to leave. And they came to do fracking for oil 5 miles away from our village. And we were all there for 7 weeks, fighting them, marching. And they did go eventually, but they were really tough, huh, Teo? Really tough.
Very much so. Sorry, I'm just reading
through the comments to try to find
these questions.
I can't believe how long you've been fighting this and how your hearts must feel. Yeah.
But that is, for example, in my way, it's like that's love for nature, that's love for Mother Earth, that love for humanity. I know it's not easy to be a standing topic talking about humanity, about the Mother Earth. We can find many obstacles, many things coming to say, come on, to stop us. But my root is very, very strong to say, okay, if I am alive, that's enough to continue standing and to say, come on, we have to wake up. We have to be standing. We have to know what is happening in the planet. We have to connect with nature, and we have to nowadays the Mother Earth is going in the good, powerful transformation, the female Mother Earth energy. So, but we are there saying, okay, we have to help that things. Like I'm a male in myself saying, I'm the guardian of that thing. We have to help to do that. So, and I would like to say, like, if everyone, we can have this passion to say we can do something, we can. If everyone can have this passion, we can transform.
We'll have some ideas over the next days about what we can do. We'll listen to what people say as well, and we'll continue to see what we can do. So in our original interview 5 years ago, you were, if people were sick, you would heal them from, so like many people have cancers now, and you used to collect herbs, like I remember you telling me you would use sangre drago, dragon's blood, and chuchuaso, and paichapanga, and samakasia. And you would brew these plants, and after about 3 months, the cancers would be gone. Are those plants still available, or because of the mining, have those indigenous healing plants gone?
Yeah, we have still the plants. We have many plants, many medicine plants.
Yeah.
And that's how I was saying, like if we go direct, like affected with some chemical things, it's a little bit difficult when something happened to you, like some illness is coming in you. But it's like, for example, when we talk about our chemical if affection, so when you have that problems, yeah. So we have, we're doing like still, for example, when there's the coronavirus, we using tobacco, we using ginger, we using that things how we can protect ourselves.
You use ginger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that to boost the immune system of people so that they stay strong against the virus and any other virus?
Yeah, but generally, sometimes when we don't, the history about the illnesses from abroad is like was some illness. We are strong in our area, but when some illness coming from outside, it's like someone spray the chemical and we can die immediately.
Yeah,
because we don't know. But now we are our immune system is going strong because passing, it still only was a normal cold. Before was like a killing massive people, indigenous people.
Wow. So tell me about your foundation, Kurikindi. Use the little, what is your logo for the foundation?
So the logo for the foundation is a hummingbird. That is not coming. Oh, I would like to put the hummingbird there. It's coming in through the vision. So, and this in the energy way, the hummingbird is the spirit of hummingbird. The energy of hummingbird is very, very strong. So, and this to put the logo was a vision.
And what was the message? What's the message behind the hummingbird?
So the ability of the hummingbird, and also is new vision I have, like how hummingbird will connect with the light, how hummingbird can be direct. So I was in some, I would like to talk some experience, and I was in some ceremony, and I was singing my carol, and when I felt like some dark forces was want to contaminate the space, and I was like I was watching to myself like I was a hummingbird with a big, and from that was living and taking taking the light energy and to come like a very, 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 very up from the higher frequency and bring to the Mother Earth and for humanity. It was like, wow, it's amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, and also it's about the hummingbird is about the wings move fast, but the hummingbird, it stays still. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, the fastest bird in the planet. Like I know that things, or maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. So the unique birds can be in front, behind, left and right.
So your name, is that still too loud, Teo? I can hear my echo.
It might be Kurikindi's laptop. It might just be feeding back a little bit.
Okay. So your mother had a vision before you were born that she would call her boy, if you were a boy, Golden Hummingbird. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about your mother.
Yeah, this is very interesting because still for many reasons, but in that time the registration wasn't easy because they don't want to put our indigenous name. That's how I have another formal name too. But through my life, so and I like a Kurikindi is coming to me, and that is my name. So my mother had a vision about that, and said that hummingbird is going to fly far away, and is going to give many message. Was a little bit emotional because it's like traveling the things and it's still to fly far away is not easy. To cross the ocean, to cross the desert. For me, in my life, it's in my golden hummingbird life, it's like I cross the desert, I cross the ocean. When I said the desert, mean nobody was explaining to me what was happening in the planet. I have to learn through my experience. I have to learn through my vision. I have to learn through my message, because no one was there to say, okay, this one is way, you have to walk in this way. And it still confused my vision. I had a vision when I was 5-6 years old, very clear. I saw clearly where I was. And be deep in the rainforest, and to see that, I already was watching, I was in many different places. So, and to cross that things is like when I said I didn't have water or I didn't have food, that was in that moment no one was inviting me to food of wisdom, water of wisdom. So come from the rainforest and be deep in that things. For us, it's like you cross the desert without water and without food.
Yeah.
But that is how the Mother Earth was preparing to say, come on, that's your way. So passing without food and without water make you a real warrior, make you an authentic warrior. And I said thank you to the Mother Earth, because that's how I learned. For example, when I was with my father, I was preparing the medicine for my father. And also my father have another children for another wife. And one day I was saying, oh, I'm tired to prepare that medicine. I talked a few days ago, I was talking about that. And my father said to me, but I can't give another child to do that, because you medicine is magic. So medicine. That's how I said, I learned. I didn't like when I was 9 years old to prepare medicine. And after that, I said, okay, I have to accept, because my medicine was magic. But I learned to be that medicine. I learned to, like how I learned to have a passion to make medicine. And after that, how I have that, I learned to love the forest. I learned to love Mother Earth. And all that is my shelf, what I said. That says all the things is my medicine, which I learn.
Yeah.
And always with humility and in humble way, I said, my words is medicine. And I think everyone will have a medicine.
It's true, Kurikindi. So for those of people who are watching who don't know, you were born from a long line of shaman in your family. So your father was a shaman, your grandfather going back also?
Yes.
Yeah. And your mother?
Yes.
Wow. So they recognized when you were young, very young, they recognized that you had a gift. And in your tradition, you say that you can't learn to be a shaman, you can't be taught. You have to have the gift and find that inside you. And then, I can't remember what you say after that, but then you have to practice and practice until you use the shaman's way.
Yeah, for example, my mother is shaman from long shamanic generation, like the same my father. And to be with two parents, shaman parents or shaman family, is very different, and it's a lot of responsibility too.
Yeah.
So I start, for example, in my way, my gift was like I had a vision. I was watching the planet. I was watching what is happening in the planet. So I born with that ability. So and I learned a lot from that, between still between male and female energy, between my father, between my mother. So how I learned to discover properly that energy, that female and male energy. So, and for many, many reasons, that is still I learned when I was very young. Sometimes male energy, male shaman doesn't like my mother because she was a woman. I said, why this thing don't like? I'm a man. I'm not proud about that. But so I start learning, say, why is happening this one? So I learned how I have to unify my female and male energy and to work, because if you show someone your male energy is have a face is male, if it's female, have a face is a female. But only when you unify, that is nowadays people have to practice that. When you practice that male and female energy together, that is only energy. It's no against no one. There's no male is fighting against him or fight with the female, no female with the male. So that is the different step. Like nowadays, we have to practice how we have to develop that male and female energy inside us. And so that in that way we learn to be gamble. In that way we learn to give love properly. If it's not, we are going to give love with face.
Yeah. Do you see those powers in your daughter?
She born with some abilities too. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. How old is she?
8 years old.
Same as your boy, Teo.
Yeah, they met. They did meet. They played together very nicely in the garden. Yeah, about 2 summers ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you still have those visions, Kurikindi? Are you visioning right now the world and what's happening with your village? And you don't have to share. I'm not sure if it's right for me to ask you.
Yeah. I can see like sometimes happen like suddenly come the vision. I can see sometimes when I'm praying, I can see the picture. I can be there. I can be in different place. I have the vision and I have message. For example, about the coronavirus. It's like as the illness in the planet, how it's moved strongly. So and someone asked to me saying, oh, how is going to be what has happened? But I received some message. So when I said always, I said to my student, we have to walk that way, and doesn't matter what has happened. Many things happen, but we have to be standing. So and it's not only the finish of the coronavirus. It's the coronavirus is going to live with us, and the message I receive is like something else is going to come strongest than coronavirus. But we have to be prepared. When we are prepared, we are going to be. It's easy to. Estamos preparados. When we are prepared, we know what we can do. And when we are prepared, it is going to be easy and still is coming good and bad together. Always is going to come good and bad. So when we are prepared, we are going to know how we can act in that moment with the bad. And when it's good, it's going to be easy to be in the goodness. And we are going to jump easily in the bad. So that is we have to know, and we have to, like a coronavirus saying to humanity, saying, okay, it's time to be how you have to be. It's time to be prepared. It's time that the things is very serious. So that is for me how it's coming the message saying that is how we have to be. And I'm not afraid about coronavirus like a messenger, like a healer. I also I can see how is the coronavirus in the spiritual way. Yeah, but this is it's important, you know, it's important. I always say I'm not negative, but I'm positive, but we have to be realistic. So we have to be prepared, and we have to against that.
We have an expression, we say forewarned is forearmed. It means if we've had warming, then we're prepared and ready.
That's
and
good.
what part does the heart play, do you think, in this big story?
I think the heart is like this for me is like the biggest. It's like sometimes I feel Mother Earth. Sometimes I feel like all Mother humanity. You know, it's like it's coming the Father energy too. So everything can come. If we talk about our heart and about our mind, for me to rest, to have a peace, is my heart. And but of course, if you go in your mind, that is confusion, that is fear. But if you go, I'm in that way, and I would like to say, if you go in your heart, that is peace, that is happiness, and that is still is faith. So always I said my way to relax, my way to be is my heart. And I would like to say, be in your heart.
I think it's the best advice. I agree wholeheartedly. So you were talking, I remember when we spoke before, and you were talking about that it's for you to have visions. It's not necessary for you to use the plants in order to see. You don't, for example, have to use ayahuasca. No. You can go in a tree, you can travel through your mind. So describe to me how the dimensions, I know dimensions don't exist for you because you're all one, everything is oneness. But how do you experience the different states?
For example, for me, I did the ayahuasca medicine when my father invited me. I was 9 years old. So I did when I was 9 years old, the ayahuasca medicine. But for me, it's like a second experience about my vision, about my knowledge. Because already before ayahuasca medicine, I knew, I saw, the knowledge was inside me. The technology was inside me. So that is for me, when I talk always with ayahuasca medicine through my experience, it's like a second place for me, ayahuasca medicine, because already I had a vision, already I understood about, already I was watching many different places, and already we said like how I saw the different frequencies, and how I saw the different vibrations. So when I was very, very young, and still, for example, I don't need, always I said, you know, I don't need some drugs to do that. But sometimes still, if we talk about medicine plant, we have to do with respect. If we abuse, of course, if you abuse drinking water, what is going to kill you? So we go, and then that way, indigenous people, we respect the medicine. For us, tobacco is a medicine. You know, the ayahuasca medicine is a medicine. How we respect that things. Yeah, it's like for me, it's very easy how you pass in one moment and go in different frequency.
And is that for you like looking through a window, for example, opening a window in your mind, or?
Yeah. So, for example, you know, when I'm teaching my students, say how for me it's like it's very easy to connect with a plant. I know if it's male, if it's female, how is the energy, what is talking. It's like we go like we synchronize.
Yeah, you merge.
Synchronize, and when we talk like talking with you. So that is nature, you know. Still, when you said when we spend time with Pachamama, the Mother Earth is talking to us like someone is talking. It's very clear. It's not fiction. It's real.
And what does she say? What does Pachamama say to you?
But when my
about, for example, the oil.
The face voices I listen is how I have to spread the Pachamama message. That's how I started my life. How you have to go, you have to go. Still, we said, I didn't choose be a shaman, so I born, and I didn't so choosing. Still doing my services. It's not because I want to do. This is coming. So it's coming a message. Kurikindi, you have to do this one. I say okay. So some say, okay, I don't like to do this one when I start the first time. So and that is how it's that I have to do, because that's my path, that's my mission, that's how I have to do, and I love doing.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
When you had those, you said that the first time you drank, you were 9 years old, but you already had access to all of those frequencies and the vibrations and things. Do you think that is something that a lot of children have access to naturally, because they're in that natural state where they can still, the DMT is still present in their systems, and that's why children have so much an easier time of playing? But obviously with your shamanic parentage, you understood more of what was happening. Or do you think that was just something that you specially had because of your upbringing and your lineage?
Yeah, we have that abilities, I think everyone, we have that ability. Only in shamanic way, like is added something else. So we have a little bit more stronger than normal. But yeah, what is like that's how we channel in genuine way, in pure way. And after that, why we are not able to channel, because we are too messy. Sometimes we are too distracted. We have many things. But when you put your brain empty to receive that connection, it's very easy. You are going to connect easily. But sometimes still that is the difference. Grow in the rainforest and grow in the city, because still sometimes parents educate children with their mobile phone. They put many other things like a cat in their nature. And in the rainforest, we grow out like with open of that knowledge. So that is the difference. Sometimes still when they are adult, it is difficult to connect with nature, because already it's machine, telephone, iPad, many things. So that is how they distract the babies, and that is how cut.
Yeah.
And it stops that ability to
Exactly.
be in that mind where they just, I remember just seeing the beautiful thing when you just give children little wooden blocks and seeing the games that they will invent just with these little wooden blocks. And I went to work in Tanzania to do a video shoot. And when I saw how little the children had there, and just how they would just take anything that was just lying in the street and they would turn it into a toy and they would play with it, because they were so engaged with their imagination. I think actually, and you hear about the fact that Steve Jobs would not let his children have iPads, and you hear that in San Francisco, the big technology companies are, the place they want to send their children is to the Steiner School, because the Steiner schools don't have computers and they don't have screens, and they just want the children to be in their imagination until at least sort of the age of 7 or 8, and only then do they start to teach them reading and writing, because they understand the importance of letting children be children.
Yeah, but sometimes they push very young age to go to nursery to do many things, and that's forcing.
Yeah. Yes.
What about your meditation with your ancestors? Do you call in the help? Do you work with them with all of this that's happening at the moment?
Yeah, generally. So, for example, in my way, I don't need to call them, because they are with me.
They're with you. Boom.
Yeah. So all that is how it's always, when it's always, it is coming sometimes with a message, sometimes with saying what has happened. So, and we carry it. We inherited the ancestral inside us. We are that ancestral. So, and that is in us.
Kurikindi, I'm sure you have captured the hearts of everyone watching you, and I'm sure everyone still wants to know how we can help. Teo, have we got anything coming in?
Well, we have, but there's a lot of people that have joined us since the very beginning of this chat that we started 55 minutes ago. So I'm going to put up this link in here now, because Luna and I talked before we came on air about how we can help, because we know lots of you will want to help as well. And so we decided that that if anybody purchases our digital access package, which Kurikindi features in, then we're going to give 50% of that $67 directly to Kurikindi's appeal, and we'll absorb the cost of the transaction fees and the tax and everything else. So of that $67, $33.50 is going to go straight to his appeal, because we know there's a lot of people that have been on the edge thinking, you know, should I buy the digital access? Should I support these guys? Should we get the access to all that 19.5 hours of content? And we thought it would be a lovely way of us to do that. We would love to give more, but in all honesty, you know, we do these live broadcasts every month. Luna and I, we're not even breaking even, you know, on our costs that we do. So we would love to give more. And when eventually the film goes global, and we've recouped the costs and the investments, then we're going to set up our heart fund and exactly for projects like this, so that we could just go, yes, let's give you know, a lump to help Kurikindi and his people. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to support directly, then I'm going to put that link in here now, so you can go to tinyurl.com/Kurikindi. That will take you directly to the page to help Kurikindi's mother's community in the Amazon rainforest. And if you'd like to be able to get in touch with Kurikindi directly, then I'll put the foundation URL up now in the comments. It's all going to follow in the Facebook group in a moment, because when I post on the software we use, it only goes into the Facebook page and the Facebook so the YouTube channel. It's all a bit complicated, but there's lots of ways that you can get in touch. And the other thing you can do is to just share, you know, share that tinyurl.com/Kurikindi, put it on your pages, put it on your walls, because that redirects to this site here, which I'm going to just share with you so you can see it. Let's just go here, share screen, and let me go this one here, application window. You're about to see a mirror of all of our things here. It just was just for 1 second, but now I'm going to jump over here. So here you can see they're trying to raise £40,000, which is about $47,000, and they've done incredibly well already, £22,487. But obviously there's a long way to go. And if you go to that site, it explains there all about exactly what's been happening. It's got pictures of the oil spills. It's got pictures of these poor children that are being affected by this oil in the water. You know, the Amazon rainforest needs our protection, and with this report, what do they aim to do? Take action to clean up the Coco and Napa rivers affected in the homeland, urgently bring clean water for drinking, cooking, and bathing, bring food and resources, provide medicines, fund logistics, and this necessary legal support required to help protect the indigenous and the human rights, and to provide as much help as possible to other indigenous tribes affected in the area.
So people can read that themselves.
Sorry, let me just come off this screen share, because it does this very strange mirroring.
So one of the big things in there is cleaning up of the water, and also the costs of lawyers to help fight this. And so they, you know, please, I would just ask everyone to be really generous and to give from your heart. This is, it's crucial, it's time demanding, and really give as much as you can. I can't imagine what it's like to have children be going through that, and we really want to help Kurikindi as much as possible. So questions, Teo, from our audience.
I'll have to jump back to a different part of the screen. Okay, there were some great questions here. You've caught me on the fly there, because I was just doing all the other technical bit. Let's just see if I can find one here. Harry says, do you think that we should bring back the rite of passage for our children to help them learn and initiate them into adulthood?
That's for me the question.
It's for you. Yes, please, Kurikindi. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but generally we have initiation to in very young age. You know, for example, like for example, when my father said to invite to me in the circle of shamans to do the ayahuasca medicine, said to me, come on, Kurikindi, you are a man. doesn't say come on child. You are man, and you have to be now. This one is this is the way. Okay, so I went and said I do my initiation to be a man when I was 9 years old. So yes, but it's never is late for to do the initiation. Never is late.
Yeah.
And you think you would like to do is time, and it's the right time for to do.
Yes, you're not raising children; you're raising warriors.
Yeah, I think what Harry was saying, though, that it's sorely lacking in Western culture. There is no real rite of passage to take a young boy from the age of 8, 9, 10, 11 into that becoming a man, into that stepping forward. As also there isn't for young girls to become young women.
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone, from going into older age, after an elder to go beyond.
So that is how, for example, is the responsibility of parents. We, for example, my mother sent to me to fish like a big boy when I was 6. So I have to fish and I have to feed maybe 10 people. Only I was 6. So that is, that's how it's coming the initiation. Like at 9 years old, I was like I was with good ability, and when I was 12, I have to be responsible for 15 children of my father.
Wow. And when you say responsible, looking after them, feeding them?
Not feeding, like I have to organize them because my father was in a different place. So like we are alone, and I was the father of them.
Wow. That's amazing.
So no another son who was responsible. I have to be responsible until the youngest was 5 years old.
I think in the West, life is too easy for our kids growing up. And I don't mean that in a horrible way, but it doesn't serve them.
Yeah, it wasn't difficult for me. Like we learn like in very young age. Like we don't have secret. Like parents doesn't that we learn in young age how to fish, how to survive. So, and this wasn't another distraction to be confused. But we have to learn how, as to defend from the jaguar, to defend from the crocodile, anaconda, and after we connect with them, and we are like part of the group, like with other animals too.
Yeah. It sounds like you have an anaconda in your computer.
Kurikindi, would you share about the drops that the tribe use in their eyes, which makes the eyes so vibrant, which will then is this correct? Then it will scare off the anaconda because they will see the vibrancy of the human being.
Yeah, we use like the anaconda. We use like from the eagle too. So, for example, when generally, for example, to have like a strong or far away eyesight is we use like the eagle liquid from the ice liquid. So that's the spot when it's like when it's baby, and that's how grow with that to see far away and to have that vision.
So you take the liquid
for protection.
Yeah, for protection. So like this is we do with like in ceremony way, and that's how that's how we said who have to be like is more or less they choose who is going to have already the parents, especially in the shamanic way. The parents, they know what the child is going to do, so they guide in that way.
Are your parents still alive? Your mother is alive?
Yeah, my mother is alive, my father too.
Okay. And do they guide you? Do they still help to guide you?
When I was, when I was 6 years, I was walking. So always I say like, mothers help us to be father. So that is like command I learned like my father was teaching me to be a father.
Mm.
So when I was a little boy, 6, 7 years old, I was walking in front of my mother saying, okay, I'm going to defend you. Like it doesn't matter if come the anaconda, doesn't matter if come jaguar. So I started that way how I want like a growing. When I was 15, I was my mother's father.
Oh.
When I was look after the children of my father, I was father of my father.
Mm.
I was responsible. When I have to meet with my father, my other brothers, half brother have to be behind me, so I have to lead everything.
Mm.
And I think I learned to be a father from that age, and I learned to guide them. Nobody was pushing me to do that, but that has came to me to be in that way. And always I said, with every person, when I talk, when I teach, when I heal, I put in my back. So I carry 1,000 people in my back until they are ready. And so one by one, I'm leaving, because I said always we are going to work in the nice way, but the responsibility, that is my responsibility, and the person have to have the responsibility to change the life. And the divine energy is another responsibility to help to change that.
And at what point do you become father? You father of your mother, father of your father, father of your own child. But when does one become father of your tribe, for example?
Yeah, that is coming how you have responsibility. How when we said when we have to against the oil company, when it's coming the army, when it's coming everything with guns. When you said, okay, we have to be a stand, we are going to be in this way, and that in that time is when you are a father. When you said, okay, it doesn't matter. When sometimes we like a human being, we have fear. But when someone doesn't have fear, like I said, is protecting, is solid. Yeah, that's I learned that I give hope. My community, not only my community, I give hope many other communities. So still, when I said to people in the planet, we have to be prepared. We have to walk in the right way. We have to walk with love, forgiveness, compassion, acceptance. We have to share that. We have to be authentic. Already, I'm carrying many in my back.
Yeah. We are all looking at our own leaders, Kurikindi, thinking just if one of them could have this tiny amount of what you have, what do you think it takes to make really a true leader inside, whether it be man or woman or even child? What is that quality?
This is have to come from your heart. You have to feel and you have to love that. So it is very, very important. So I don't walk with my mind. I walk from all the message, or everything what I listen is from my heart. Sometimes someone can say, oh, you are crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm very, very clear. When something is happening, I have to be in my heart, and I'm going to see if it's true or if it's right or it's wrong. Because our mind can't confuse. Our mind can't lie us, but never our heart.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
I have a question from Aya. She says, Kurikindi, please give us your guidance for the best way to act in this time of global change. As parts of Pachamama, what prayer or meditation should we do?
So it's a man or woman?
I don't know. Aya, I think is how you pronounce
woman.
that. It's a woman, yeah.
Woman. So the point is nowadays is coming, is the Mother Earth, the female energy of Mother Earth is in transformation, is changing strongly, and the female humanity energy is changing too. So I said always, this transformation is strong and powerful, but it's fragile too. So it's very important to understand how fragile and how powerful it is. But in the same way, the female energy have to be focused in that transformation, and the male energy we have to support, because that transformation is not only for female or for Mother Earth, it's for all humanity, it's for everything on the Mother Earth. So we have to send that vibration. We have to be part of that. I would like to invite, if men are listening to me, how we have to help that transformation, how we can be that support to that feminine energy of the Mother Earth, and humanity is doing the transformation, because that is for everyone on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for the new generation, especially.
Yeah.
Thank you. Alexandra says, Kurikindi, when you say we have to be prepared, what do you mean? How can we prepare? What to do?
So sometimes, we are like, sometimes we are like, we go to the work, we do many things, we are distracted. We don't know, still we don't looking for connect with Mother Earth, with nature. We have to be in that to synchronize that energy. We have to be part of that, because that is the transformation how is coming. So that is, we are going to prepare. Sometimes, we are suffering, we are in fear, we have doubt, many other problems. So it's time we are not going to be a slave of that. We are human being with freedom. We came here with freedom. But I know this planet already was with many things, not because it's the planet. Already we have dark forces. So the point is, when we have to prepare, is like, okay, I'm going to do it my right way. I'm going to positive. I'm going to walk. I'm going to connect with nature. I'm going to practice love, forgiveness, compassion, acceptance. That is the key to be prepared. That have to be authentic. That you have to love to do that.
Yeah.
But not show. You have to love to do that. That is enough to be prepared.
Very good.
Love, compassion, healing, and acceptance. Beautiful. Thank you.
Don't we know it? We have to practice it.
Yeah, sometimes we know, sometimes people know, but it's already living there. It's time. It's time to say, I'm going to do. It's time to stand and to put that loving to do that. This is, I said always, sometimes I speak. Sometimes someone can say, oh, he's repeating again, but I'm going to repeat many times until someone have to listen. It's not because I don't have something to say, because the messages say you have to repeat again. It's still maybe for one who doesn't know, I have to repeat.
Yeah. So if people want to, is there a petition for your government or anything like that where people can sign? Do you know of anything like that?
Yeah, generally we are having the presidents of the communities are having direct action with the government. So sometimes, we don't know. Sometimes they confuse people, and after that it's finished. So that's how I say a few times the oil split was in the river, and they all collect money, a lot of money. But recently we know that things, and never indigenous people we receive that. So knowing that things now is the president of community are standing to say, okay, if something have to come to the communities. But no, and sometimes I don't know what is happening with that help.
Maybe it's better to petition our own government rather than your government.
Yeah, that is good, because that is how we are looking, for outside help. Because sometimes it's the government is controlling lawyers, controlling everything. So sometimes we indigenous, we don't know what we can do.
I think, everyone watching, we feel frustrated because everyone is feeling your heart. You're very clearly a brother, and people feel helpless because they don't know how to help. So you can petition the government. The best thing is giving either direct to Kurikindi's fund. Taya's going to put that up in a minute, or through purchasing a package, and we give 50% of the proceeds to Kurikindi. And also by passing this link along. This link, it's our YouTube channel. This is going to be available after we finished tonight. So that is youtube.com/Time of the Sixth Sun, and you can see all of our interviews there. But if you pass the link for this particular interview with Kurikindi around, we can continue to ask people to donate. So just let that wave ripple out. We all know how a virus works. One person passes it on. So let's pass the love on. Let's pass the help on and spread it like a virus, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And that on the screen is the URL for donating. And that money will go direct from Kurikindi to the people, the Kichwa people, yeah? Yeah.
I think it's the Kichwa people, and it's also to help other tribes along the river. Is it not, Kurikindi?
Yeah, there is another communities. It's more than 50 communities.
The Warana.
How many people are there in your mother's village?
Yeah, this is like with all this. It's very big community, like a 900.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called Sani Isla. Sani Isla.
So generally, in the border of the Napo River, the communities are big.
Okay, like towns.
It's not town that is communities, but it's like all communities, like they more people, but not town.
Okay. Any more?
I'm going to bring that up one more time. So yeah. Just because if people aren't seeing the slides or they can't see the comments later, because sometimes the comments disappear if people are watching after we've gone live. So Kurikindi has a website at kurikindifoundation.org. And again, if you'd like to help with this, the Amazon rainforest, the oil spill that happened in April of this year, they're raising funds for this appeal. And that's the short URL for it is tinyurl.com/Kurikindi. And Luna and I have also said that as much as we'd love to be able to give a lot more, we can give 50% of any digital package. So we're trying to create a beautiful win-win situation. So you get access to the movie, to all 8 episodes of the docuseries. You get streamed access to the beautiful music from the CD, get the digital ebook, the transcripts, the audios that you can download to listen to on the move. And up until Monday evening, we will give 50% of any package bought at timeofthesixthsunmovie.com. You just need to click the digital access offer at the top, and then we will we'll give 50% of that to Kurikindi's fund, because you know they need help, you know, and it would be lovely for us to be able to do that as a tribe, to do that as a community, and you know, there are people writing in here saying, you know, I'm on credit, I'm on benefits, I don't have the money to make donations. Then share the link.
Pass it on. Yeah.
Share that link on your walls, because that will take people automatically to the website where people can read about these things that are going on. Because a lot of the time people just don't know, they're not aware that these tragedies are taking place, and just how it affects you know, people around the world. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to help by just sharing the message.
Monique in London was saying, look up Earth Protectors. So we'll look that up and put something on our group page, which is our Facebook group page. We'll get a conversation going after this.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to say, like, I'm very, very happy, and would like to say thank you to Theo, to Luna, like how you work, what you're doing, you help is like giving a piece of hope to children in the Amazon rainforest, and it's still for everyone who are listening. It is hope, you know. Sometimes it's like being in the rainforest inside without knowing anything what has happened. So it's like it's still one child can smile. That is a big medicine for us, and I think for everyone, and I think for the planet. Yeah, we do our best to help, especially new generation.
Do your people in the Amazon rainforest know how much they are loved outside? Do they know that?
Yes.
They do. By us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So always we communicate, you know, with the elements. And so sometimes the elements, like the elements of air, bring all the message to the rainforest and say what is happening outside the village. So that's how we know what is happening in the planet, and that's how we understand still if something good is coming or something bad is arriving there.
I have to say, I don't know how to say this, Kurikindi, but I really deeply want to say sorry. Sorry for what white man, my ancestors maybe, have done to your tribes over the years. I'm so sorry.
So many things happened in indigenous communities, like for a long time. We learned to send forgiveness because maybe there is a reason that happened, or maybe no. But that is how we learn. That's how I said, like Mother Earth, how give us to that strength to give forgiveness, compassion, to accept what has happened. And I was saying when one day when that was happening, I was saying, oh, I would like to kill them, you know, the oil company people.
Yeah.
But I said, you are not that, because you have to learn, you know, you have to give forgiveness, you have to give compassion. Because it's very sad when people only listen maybe to me, only maybe they can see something, but when you can see the action, when you can see the real place, it's very difficult. So, and it's very, very sad.
Mm.
So that is the real experience, but it's easy to listen or to see something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bless you, bless you, bless you.
I would like,
always, you know, forgiveness for indigenous people is always going to be for everyone. So maybe that is the reason, that is how it's coming, the evolution in the planet. So we understand the evolution, sometimes sacrifice something.
Mm. Have you got anything else that you want to say that we haven't asked you, Kurikindi?
I would like to do some prayer for people in the rainforest, for all humanity in the planet, and for Mother Earth.
Kurikindi, may we finish on the prayer, but I'm really keen that we get people to help your cause, and I can see questions coming in because our audience is all over the world, and so because they're seeing that the website is in British pounds, and they don't understand what that is in their currency. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go into I'm just going to go to this here. I'm going to go to your website here. I'm going to bring that up full screen. And then, so when you go to the link that I've been posting, tinyurl.com/Kurikindi, it will take you to this website. And then when you're on this website, if you click the Donate Now button, is it going to work? There we go. You can see just underneath here, it says change currency. So if you click change currency there, you can change it to Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, euro, or US dollars, because then you know how much you're giving. So for example, if I change it to US dollars there, now it'll change it to US dollars here. So that's really, really simple for you to make your donation in whichever currency that you would like to be able to do so. So I just want to make sure that people all over the world know how easy that is to donate. And then as I said, if you would like to get this digital access offer, you just go to our site here. There's a video of me explaining everything you get. You click this green button here, like that. There's a short video that shows you how you put in the sharing 30 code. So you pay $67 instead of $97. You click complete the purchase, and then takes you to that page. And as I said, we will give 50% of any one of those packages that's bought between now and next Monday, the 15th, directly to help Kurikindi's mothers community in the Amazon rainforest. So I hope that makes that a little bit more clearer. So I wanted to get that message across clearly, so we can make sure that your mother's community and your communities get as much help as they possibly can.
Thank you.
We love you, Kurikindi.
I love you too. So So I'm going to do the prayer. I'm going to do my language. Katunga pukao pachaitia, kai pachata kao pachata seriku. Ashkata mikanda pagrachuni. Kang mialinishka gangi kai pachai kao pachai was. Ñukanchi mana alli rashkata, ñukanchi mana alli yuyarishkata, ñukanchita kishpichi hatungapu. Ñukanchi aylluguna mana alli rashkata, ñukanchi aylluguna mana alli yuyarishkata, paygunata was kishpichi. Ñukanchi comunaguna mana alli rashkata, kishpichi hatungapu. Runa manchi maykambi pantanchimi. Ashkata mikanda pagrachuni Pachamama, kamballpaymi wasisha tarpusha kawsanchi. Ashka pagrachu indiyaya karam punchami kamba punchata rikusha kawsanchi. Ashka pagrachu yaku mama, tukuy kaybi kawsagunami kamba yakutu pisha kawsanchi. Ashka pagrachu wayra yaya, kamba sumak samaita ñukanchita samachi. Ashkatami pagrachuni kanda hatungapu kanmi ali, kanmi tukuyta yachangi, charaykumi kanda kirini, charaykumi kanda mañani, suma kawsayta ñukanchik comunay churay, suma kawsayta sachallpay churay, suma kawsayta tukuy allpay churay, tukuy wawakuna michita ministinu hatungapu, tukuy runaguna waschitami ministinu, suma kawsaytami kanda tapuni hatungapu. Kanmi tukuyta yachangi, charaymi kanda kirisha, kanda tapuni. Sati kuri irunamani, sati kuri runamani, sati kuri runa toya shaga, punjashina rikurisha shayaringi, sati kuri irunamani, sati kuri runamani, sati kuri runa toya shaga, kamba shungu kushiyanga, kamba yuyay paskaringa, sati kuri runamani, sati kuri runamani, sati kuri runamani, sati kuri runamani. Ashka pagrachu hatungapu, ñuka wawkikunata, ñuka pañikunata, sumak yuyayta, sumak shunguta, sinchi yuyaykunata churapay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I went.
Thank you, Kurikindi.
Thank
you for sharing with us, and I hope that our beautiful tribe will support your appeal in any way they can, either financially or through sharing it, because sharing is just as important. The more awareness that comes to these things, the better it can be. So I'm just posting those links up again in the comments so that people can find them very easy. Lots of people are saying, I have tears, I'm crying too. That was beautiful, amazingly beautiful. Thank you. There is a heart-shaped hole in the clouds as this is being prayed by us all. Blessings in abundance. The birds were cheeping here while you were leading the prayer. It was echoing your words. Nikki, I just have to let you know how much your love, your warmth, your compassion and shine and vibrate during these broadcasts. It's just beautiful, beautiful comments coming in from people.
Thank you.
May you continue to stand strong and centered in your heart. We stand with you.
Thank you.
Yes, we do. And with that,
thank you, everyone.
We'll bid you a good night. And yeah, and those links are there, and I'll also add all of those links that we've talked about to the descriptions. So when you go back to these videos, you'll be able to find everything you need there. And if you've got questions, you can ask in our Facebook group, and Luna and I are in there, and we can help to answer those questions as well. If you want, if you've got ideas, you know, let's keep this conversation moving. It would be a beautiful thing. And on Monday night at 8 p.m. we've got Mac McCartney coming back, the author of The Children's Fire. And he's going to be telling us all about we've asked him whether he can go into a lot more detail about how our ancestors in the United Kingdom were wiped out by the Romans, all those years ago. So that's going to be a fascinating talk on Monday night. But from Kurikindi, from Luna, and from me, good night from now.
Thank you, Theo. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, everyone.
Bless you. You stay with us, Kurikindi.